Hey bag ladies and bag dudes, today I'm going to be talking about Sew Tights, the Kennedy bag that I just made, Allison Glass Observatory fabrics. The book review will be for Modern Quilts block by block. I'll be demonstrating how to add zipper heads to a zipper roll, and there's a great giveaway at the end. I'm Sarah Lawson from Sew Sweetness. Thanks so much for joining me for Social Sunday, my weekly sewing chat. Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining me for Social Sunday. I'm super excited to be here. Lots of fun things to tell you about this week. And yeah, I'm glad you're spending your Sunday evening or Monday afternoon if you're in a different part of the world. So glad that you're spending it here with me on Social Sunday. So before I get started, just a friendly reminder, just about everything that I talk about during Social Sunday are things that I've purchased myself. So these are not things that I'm getting paid to talk to you about, but just cool things that I found that I'd like to share with you. And also everything that I'm scheduled to talk about, I link to in the description. So if you're interested in finding out more about any of the notions, fabrics, books, or projects that I talk about during Social Sunday, just check that link in the description and you can find out more there. All right, so I have a few things to let you know about before we get on to the notion of the week. The .. bag sew along is wrapping up, and I've linked to that sew along in the description in case you'd like to see everybody's finished .. bags. Everybody did an amazing job, and thanks again so much to Michelle, Graham, and Bronwyn for co-hosting that. I also have to announce the week 2 winner for that .. bag sew along was Ozzy Bird, so congratulations to you. And I was amazed at how many bags were finished and the variety of different fabrics that were used, and it gives me ideas for different combinations that I can use for future bags, because sometimes I admit I have a really hard time picking fabrics and different combinations for bags, and I'll show you one of the difficulties that I had in a minute in a bag that I just finished. But yeah, it's a real problem for me on a daily basis, actually. Another reminder, the LED sewing machine lights are now back in stock, so if you've been waiting for those to come back in, they're back in stock right now. And also we have the season 2 Minikins acrylic templates in stock, but they're going really fast, so if you're interested in those, if you need those right away, you might want to pick up the templates that you're interested in. As soon as we sell out, actually I'll be ready to place another order. Hopefully we can keep those in stock, because I know a lot of you are sewing some Minikins up for some holiday gifts or for some holiday craft marts. So again, both of those links are in the description. All right, so the notion of the week is a notion that I've gotten a couple emails about in the last week, and they're called Sew Tights. So it's just a clever little tool to have in your sewing room while you're constructing your bag. So I'm going to jump over to the side camera and show you what the Sew Tights are all about. Okay, so these are the Sew Tights, and you actually don't need a lot. It's not like Wonder Clips where I have like 100 Wonder Clips in my sewing room at all time. Just a few will do the trick, and each of them come with 2 parts. So as you can see, they're magnets, and they're very helpful for getting to areas where Wonder Clips just can't get to, like for example the center of a project. Perhaps you're attaching a flap to the center of the bag, and obviously if it's in the center, the Wonder Clips can't get to it, especially if you're working with thick layers. Traditional pins usually are not a great substitute for the Wonder Clips, so that's where the Sew Tights come in. So it's great for hand sewing, for working on a bag, all sorts of different things. So I'm just going to place these 2 fabrics together. Bless you, Danny.
Thank you.
So one side of the Sew Tight will go on one half, and the side with the kind of cross hatches will go on the other half, and it just holds your fabric layers together while you're working on them. So I don't actually have any bags in progress right now in the sewing room, so I was hoping that I could simulate having a flap that you wanted to add to the center of your bag, and how the Sew Tights could help with that. So again, I'm just going to add one Sew Tight on this side, place the other one on the other side, and it holds everything so that they don't come apart. The only thing that I found is that they are not strong enough to hold 2 layers of foam together. So if you're working with, say, the body of the bag that is your fabrics attached to the foam, and your flap also has foam on them, they're not strong enough to hold those 2 layers, but often pieces that you're working with, especially a flap, might have thinner interfacing attached to them, and in that case the Sew Tights would work just fine. So again, these are Sew Tights. They come in smaller packs, and I've linked to the website where you can find them in the description. Okay, I'm super excited tonight because immediately after Social Sunday wraps up, we'll be posting the complete video for the Kennedy bag. So I know we promised this, we've been promising this, and we finally were able to follow through. So this is the Kennedy bag that I made for the video. The video is, I don't remember, maybe an hour and a half long. And again, we'll be posting that directly after the show. I've updated the pattern pieces to reflect if you'd like to work with cork or leather. As you can see, I used navy cork for my bag, so the pattern pieces just reflect dashed lines, which I like to use on pattern pieces to give you the option to work with cork or leather if you would like, because cork or leather can be cut and left raw. So basically that's minus the seam allowance. So I've updated the pattern pieces. The original Kennedy bag pattern is from 2013, and I can't believe time has passed so quickly that I have patterns that are that old, but this is a free pattern. You can download the free pattern. It comes with the full color step photos that all of my other patterns have, and now you'll have a video to work from. So again, I'll be posting this immediately after the show ends, and the pattern pieces will be available as updates on my blog as well, in addition to the video. All right, so Danny's favorite part of the show, we'd like to invite you to let us know in the comments, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. Go ahead and type either bag lady or bag dude now. So go ahead and type that for us in the comments. We super love the constructive and helpful comments that are always posted in our Facebook group. We super appreciate the bag making community, and thank you so much for being a part of that. Whether you participate in the Facebook group, whether you watch the shows weekly on YouTube, if you enjoy the videos while you're in your sewing room, thank you so much for being part of the community, and we're so glad that you're here. All right, so another fabric that I added to my stash a couple weeks ago, because I have not a lot of space left but little control, is New Fabrics by Allison Glass. It's from her fabric line called Observatory, and let me pop over to that side camera again and show you what the fabrics look like. Okay, so Observatory is a line of batiks from Allison Glass, and I admit that years ago I did not give batiks a second glance, but now I have a ton of them in my stash. Most of them are designed by Allison Glass, and I also have a lot of batiks from the fabric company Me and You. So I love using them in quilts. I love the colors. They're a little bit thinner than quilting cottons if you've never worked with batiks before, but to use them in a bag, I just reinforce the fabrics because they are a little bit thinner with a bit of Shape Flex interfacing before I attach to the foam, if that's what I'm using for the bag, and they work out just fine. So let me show you kind of in color order what the fabrics look like. This is my favorite print in the line, by the way. I just love this one, and it comes in some other colors as well. I bought a half-yard bundle just because I have all of Allison's other previous batiks, so I have a lot of batiks in the stash already. And I like to add these for, I'm a big fan of rainbow quilts, so I always like to have a lot of options in regards to my rainbow colors in the stash. So the one thing that this line is absent of, it's green, which is totally fine with me. I like it's basically warm and cool options, but minus green. Even though green's my favorite color, I'm totally fine with it because I feel like these fabrics kind of remind me almost of, I guess, Starburst candy. That's the way I feel about these fabric colors. So as you can see, lots of prints in the line. And Allison sells these as bundles as well as, I believe, yardage in her web shop, and she's got lots of other bundles from her previous fabric line, so lots to choose from. If you're interested in seeing some of her older batiks, I believe she has those in the web shop as well. I bought these direct from her website. I think it's kind of cool supporting the fabric designer directly, but of course check these out at your local quilt shop or ask for them there to see if they're stocked at your shop. All right, there's another of this large scale print, and I love it in the white. This looks really awesome. And then this black and white print is my other favorite out of the fabric line. So again, this is Observatory. It's designed by Allison Glass, and these are brand new fabrics. Since Thanksgiving, at least for the United States, is coming up this week, I wanted to share my favorite Thanksgiving or holiday related recipe. So when I was a kid, we had this book called Cranberry Thanksgiving, and at the end of the book there was a recipe for cranberry bread, and cranberries are one of my most favorite foods ever. For me, they're not only for Thanksgiving. When we go to visit my grandma every Sunday, she has cranberries, and I usually have it with my meal no matter what we're eating. We could be eating goulash or like chicken schnitzel, which is like breaded chicken, and I'll just have cranberries on the side with whatever we're eating. So this is my most favorite recipe. We make it just about every year. The years that we don't make it, I really miss it. But if you're looking for an extra side dish for your holiday table this week, check out that recipe for the cranberry bread from the book Cranberry Thanksgiving. I linked to it in the description. So I'm wondering, let me know in the comments, what is your favorite holiday food? I realize not everyone watching is from the United States, but I kind of oriented my question based on holiday foods, which could also relate to Christmas meals. But let me know in the comments, what is your favorite holiday food? Besides cranberries, my second favorite is mashed potatoes. I love mashed potatoes. I love making mashed potatoes with a bit of cream cheese, so maybe like half a brick of cream cheese. I know that's really rich, but also with butter and whole milk in my mashed potatoes. So that's definitely my second favorite. Looking forward to having some of those this week. I wanted to show you an early birthday present that we got, or that I got from my friend Teresa. And I wasn't even aware of this. Maybe I'll show this to you in the side camera. I wasn't even aware of this until I got this as a gift, but we generally look for new ornaments every year at Hallmark, and this is one of the ornaments that Teresa got for me for my birthday. It's kind of a vintage looking sewing machine. Yeah, Danny's gonna zoom in a little bit. I linked to it in the description, and when I was grabbing the link, I noticed the pricing on it. I don't know if this is in-store pricing or just online, but it's on sale right now, so it's less than $10, a great deal. This is actual thread coming down the machine, so super cute, and I'm really excited to add this to the tree. We usually put up our tree right after Thanksgiving. I know Thanksgiving's coming up early this year, but I'm looking forward to getting that tree up, and it's super cute. Also, as my birthday is coming up next week, I've been asking if anyone's interested in sending me postcards, and I went to the postal box the other day and had a huge stack of postcards and birthday cards in my inbox. So thank you so much. I'm really excited. I enjoyed reading through all of these. It's kind of a bigger stack this week than last week, so I'm just going to show you a few of the cards. Here's a bag lady card. This one has like pearls on the handle, which is really cute. Let's see. Amanda sent me this license plate fabric. It says Soul Sisters. I thought that was really cute, so I wanted to show that one to you. Kathy made me a beautiful gift. These are microwave bowl holders, and they came in 3 different sizes. And I was really excited to open this particular gift because I'm a big fan of having soup, and I like when I finish my soup to sit on the couch and eat it, but usually the bowl's too hot, and so I either have to sit at the table or wait till it cools up a bit. So I'm really excited to use these to enjoy my soup on the couch as soon as it comes out of off the stove or the pressure cooker or whatever I'm making my soup in. I also had to share these socks that Donna made for me. I love these socks, and I have to share this funny story because Donna emailed me, I think a couple weeks ago, and she was asking me what my foot size is, and me being like sewing on the brain, I was like, you know what, which sewing machine foot are you talking about? And I guess I could measure it if you want. Like, I was really confused by her question, and then I saw in the Facebook group that she had also asked the same thing, and then it dawned on me, Donna's asking what size is my foot, like on my body, not on my sewing machine. So she made me these awesome socks, and as you can tell, I love wearing blue, so I love them, Donna. Thank you so much. Donna also said she painted me a card. She said she couldn't find a postcard for me, so she painted one for me. I love this. And let me show you a couple more. Karen actually stitched me a birthday card. This is all stitching on the front of the card, so I love this card as well. Of course, being a Disney fan, here's another postcard that I got. And Violet requested that I read this, show this card on the show. I'll read the front and then I'll show you the card. It says, "Oh, boo frickin' who, have a cocktail and get over it." So let me show you the front of the card. So that's a rather stylish lady with a cocktail in her hand. And let me open the card. I know the address is in here, so let me cover it up before I open it. Okay, so Did you see all that came out of the card? So before the show, Violet said, you have to read this one on the air. And I said, Violet, like, I can't read that one because like all the confetti is going to go all over the place when I try to read it. And she's like, but that's what she wanted. She wanted it to go all over the place on the show. And I was like, are you sure, Violet? I didn't see anything about that in the card, but Violet knew. She's like, no, because it's from Bonnie. She's like, no, Bonnie wanted you to read it on the show, so that would happen. So thank you, Bonnie. All right, so if you're still interested, and again, this is completely optional, I've been collecting postcards for my birthday, or a birthday card will do as well. I'd love to see where everyone's from, where they live. I got some actual photograph postcards because people couldn't find postcards. Maybe you're from a small town, maybe it's harder to find postcards, but I've had some photograph postcards that were completely lovely. Lots of fun birthday cards, so thank you everybody so much. It's been really fun receiving mail, snail mail, because we don't get that as many cards as we used to get through the mail. All right, let's get over to my book review for this week. The book for this week is called Modern Quilts Block by Block. And let me pop over to the side camera and show you. All right, so here's the cover of the book. The book's written by Emily Dennis, and there's 12 quilt projects in the book. I love her choices in fabrics, and the projects are all shown in the beginning of the book. So let me show you the projects first. Oh, here we go. So here's all 12 projects. And I found that they all have really detailed illustrations and instructions. I love the photographs also. I feel like, I don't know, I just feel extra interested in the projects, seeing the lifestyle photographs, if you will. So the first project's the Churn Dash quilt. As you can see, very detailed illustrations. And I felt like all the quilts that I looked at, I skimmed through all the instructions. I felt like I understood everything, and it didn't seem like any of the quilts would be extremely time consuming to put together, which I really appreciated, because sometimes you know, we're busy, we have other things to do besides crafting, and sometimes I don't want to think too hard about the project that I'm about to make. I just want to start cutting things up and putting them together. I don't know if you feel the same way about making quilts, but that's definitely where I'm at right now. Okay, Hopscotch is another quilt. Hourglass. And my favorite quilt is actually at the very end, so let's pop over to that one. Crisscross, and as you probably are aware, I love solids and quilts, so this one really caught my eye as well. Mini medallion. So this one's 24 inches by 24 inches, so the block is really big. But just something for you to finish really quickly and get on your sewing room wall. Ombre squares. I really love the idea of the black and white striped fabric. And I actually have a little bit in my stash, so I'm thinking about putting this quilt together so I can use my black and white striped fabric. Yeah, there's another closer up picture of the black and white stripes. This one's called Shine On. Let me backtrack a little bit. There you go. Sideways arrows. And as you can see, you're just basically making a block or two and then putting the quilt together. All right, so this is my most favorite quilt in the book. It's a sampler quilt made from all of the blocks in the previous quilt. So here's another better view at that sampler quilt. I'm a huge fan of sampler quilts. This one's made in solid, so it's checking all the boxes for me. And there's another view of the book. So again, this book is called Modern Quilts Block by Block. It was written by Emily Dennis, and I've linked to where you can find that book in the description. So I'd like to invite you now, if you like our live shows, if you enjoy my demonstrations or full-length bag videos, to go ahead and, if you're watching on Facebook, hit the share button right now. Share this sewing video with your other sewing friends. Regardless, either if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, if you could at least hit the like button, which is the thumbs up, little thumbs up picture. Likes and shares really help us out so much, and we really appreciate you doing that. And thank you so much again for being with us for Social Sunday. All right, so my demonstration for this week is how to attach zipper heads to a zipper roll. So I picked up some fun zipper rolls that I'd like to show you. I even have a zipper roll with metal looking coils, but they're actually nylon. So let me pop over to the side camera and show you how to do it. Okay, so let me pull out all my utensils for putting these zipper heads on the zipper roll. So here's a couple examples of the heads that I've got on the rolls already. And these are all handbag zippers. So they're the wider zipper tape, about 1.25 inches wide, and I've added 2 zipper heads to this particular portion of zipper in case you like 2 heads. And this is a rainbow zipper. I actually picked up rainbow zipper by the roll in the black and in the white. So really excited about these. And I also like these rose gold, and here's a few of the other colors that I picked up. But these look like they're metal zipper teeth, but they're actually nylon, which is personally my favorite to sew with because you can actually sew over those nylon zipper teeth. Okay, so let me show you how to get these attached. So I'm just going to use a fork for this method. So either a metal fork with 3 tines. If you only have a fork handy with 4 tines, you'll probably just need to bend one of the tines outward. I also found that a plastic fork works also. So this is a plastic fork. I think we got this from Chipotle. So if you need something that's free, plastic forks, as long as they're sturdy enough, a plastic fork will work as well. So I'm actually going to have the forks on this box just so they can be elevated a bit. I'm using Danny's stapler just to hold it in place. If you have something like this, you can use this to hold the fork on the edge of your table, but this is completely optional. I just found this in the basement. We actually use it to hold the cork roll. So this is an option as well to hold off the edge of the table. But since I'm working off the center of my mat, I'm just gonna position my box and have something heavy to hold the fork in place. So I'll show the method with both forks. Yeah, it's fairly easy to do. So let me go ahead and pull these 2 heads off here. All right, so I'm gonna start with the fork sort of facing right side up. And you wanna take the zipper head and flip it over so that it's wrong side facing up, and you want the straight edge to be toward you. So I'm gonna hold my fork sideways so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. So I'm gonna place the zipper head on the fork. You're not placing the tines of the fork through where your zipper teeth are gonna go. It's just gonna go right below it. So let me try to show you this in the camera. So you have the opening on the zipper free for the zipper teeth, and this is where I've placed the zipper on the fork. Okay, so now I'm going to place, since my zipper is face down, I'm also going to place my zipper teeth and tape face down. And I'm also going to grab some scissors. I usually like to work with a longer zipper tape than I need, just in case I need to do some trimming. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim this edge so that it's straight. I'm going to open the teeth up a bit, and I'm going to orient the zipper teeth so they kind of form a V as they go into the zipper. All right. There you go. And then you just pull it through. And if you find that you're getting a big bump in the middle or it doesn't look even to you, you can, just take the head off and try it again. I'm going to actually add the second zipper head on the opposite side. So again, I'm going to place the zipper face down on my fork with the straight edge facing me. And I'm going to open this end of the zipper. And again, place the zipper teeth in a V and then just pull this on. And again, if it's not straight, if you get a little ripple, just go ahead and pull your zipper heads off and you can give it another shot. So this is what it looks like with the 2 heads on there. And let me pull out that plastic fork and I'll show you how to put just the 1 head on. And this is my rose gold zipper instead. So again, I'm going to place the zipper face down, straight side facing me. I'm just going to slide it on this plastic fork this time. And again, the zipper teeth are face down. And I'm going to orient the teeth in a V, so kind of on a diagonal, going in toward the zipper. and just kind of pull that on there. So as you can see, super easy, and if you don't like how it looks, just, you know, zip it off there and give it another shot. So as you can see, nothing super fancy needed for doing this. All right, it's probably not gonna work this time. There we go. All right, so, and I've linked to the 2 different shops where I purchased these zippers by the yard in case you're interested in either the rainbow bundle or the rose gold. And it's really easy to pick up the zippers by the yard, and you can choose how many zipper heads that you'd like to come in your packs as well. So hope you enjoyed that demonstration, especially if you've never used the zipper roll before. So that leads me to my next question. Let me know in the comments, have you ever used a zipper roll? So just let me know yes or no in the comments. I've had tons of requests for the zipper roll demonstration lately, so I thought I'd follow through. I picked up those zippers by the yard, which I'm really happy with, especially the rainbow, because you know I love rainbow colors. So I'm really excited to use those in some of my bags, and I definitely feel like it's a money saver because you can choose how many yards of the zipper roll tape that you'd like. I got 5-yard pieces for the rainbows and 1-yard pieces for the rose gold that I picked up. And you can just keep adding pulls and just measure the exact length of the zipper that you need for your project, which is really nice and handy. All right, so before we get over to some questions, I wanted to announce the winner of last week's giveaway, and that's Nikki Reinhardt. So congratulations to Nikki. I've contacted you via social media to set up sending out your prize. If you have a question for me, let me know in the comments, either a sewing related question, bag making related question, a question about a tool or notion. Let me know in the comments and I'll answer as many questions as I can live. Before Danny starts posting those questions on the screen, I wanted to let you know about 2 reminders. So the first reminder is my show this Tuesday, which is called Ask Sarah. That's Tuesday on Facebook and YouTube at 7 p.m. Central Time. I have a special guest, surprise secret guest, I suppose you could say. So really excited about that show. I hope you'll join me for that. The first half of the show I'll be talking to my guests, and then the second half will be open to your live questions. So excited for that. And again, that Kennedy bag video will be posted immediately following the show. So that will be posted on YouTube and Facebook and also on my website. All right, Danny, take it away with the questions. No? All right, so everyone's congratulating Nikki in the comments, and I see... they're
answering your question.
Oh, they're answering my question. Okay. So while my guest this Tuesday is not Tula Pink, I will have her on the show soon, so I'm looking forward to that, hopefully in December, fingers crossed, if it works out with both of our schedules. Nancy says, are those the number 5 zippers? I never know what size to get. So those were handbag zippers, so either number 4 or number 5 will work, and those were both zippers with non-metal coils, so those were all nylon coils for that demonstration. Kyla says, can we see the inside of the Kennedy bag, please? And then Mary Lee says, please show us the inside and pockets on the Kennedy bag. Sure thing. I actually had some bubble wrap inside, so let me pull that out. Okay, so there's 2 different types of pockets in the Kennedy bag. So the first type of pocket is a zipper pocket, so 1 large zipper pocket. And on the opposite end, there's 2 slip pockets. I'm not sure if you can see that. I think you can. So I've sewn 2 different dividers, so I guess one for a cell phone, one for a wallet. You can do whatever you prefer. And I also made a note at the end of the video, in case you're planning to put heavy things in your Kennedy bag, I do also have a video on my YouTube channel for how to add a false bottom. So if you're, for instance, planning to put a laptop in this bag, which can be heavy, there's a false bottom video on my YouTube channel in case you'd like to add that to your bag. Pat says, Sarah, will you be offering a hardware kit for the Kennedy bag? That's a good question. You know what? I hadn't thought of that. I did link to, in the video where I purchased my buckles, there were a ton of options for buckles. I saw some that were really fancy with little bling on them, like sparkles. Some were buckles with different shapes. I just got plain old rectangles, but I'll consider that for the hardware kit. We don't currently have something that like that on offer, though. Terry says, Sarah, have another tip. I use an electric trimmer to remove stitches instead of a seam ripper. Also use an eraser to get rid of the small pieces of thread left over. Oh, those are great tips. Actually, I'm going to write that electronic trimmer tip down. Maybe I can show that on a future show because that sounds really interesting. I did see a video recently of somebody, it must have been on Instagram stories or something like that. They were using some sort of electric trimmer or shaver to remove their stitches, and I was almost scared watching it, but I kind of want to try it in person. So let me see about getting one of those so I can try it live on the show. Jamie says, what does the number mean in regards to the zipper? It means it's the size of the zipper. So for instance, a number 3 zipper would be a dress skirt zipper. I'm not sure if I have any handy that I could grab off the top of my head. Grab one of these projects. So this cotton candy pouch, I used a number 3 dress skirt zipper. Depending on the pattern, some patterns I use a handbag zipper on, which, grab this one. This one has a handbag zipper on it, this cooler. Linda says, no question but a tip. I serge the inside of the Cumberland instead of binding. Yeah, that's definitely an option. I give several different finishing options for the Cumberland backpack pattern. One is to finish the lining with binding. Another is to sew the lining right sides together so you don't have to use the binding, but serging the edges on the lining is definitely a great idea also. Jean says, what size zipper heads should we buy to use some of those longer zippers we already cut off? So I like the longer pull zippers, which most handbag zippers have. Let me pull some of those over here. Yeah, so for the handbag zippers, I just like having the larger pull options. Let me hold this back here so it's not a blur. But they're really easy to put on too, and especially using that fork, it's something everyone has at home. And as you could see, I didn't use any really special tools besides the fork and something heavy to hold the fork, so I had both of my hands free. Lydia says, can you put the zipper tabs on a regular zipper the same way using a fork? Yeah, you just need to have enough space between the prongs of the fork so that your zipper doesn't fall through. So my zipper heads, the handbag ones at least, fit perfectly. That plastic fork is also an option too, because it's plastic. The tines kind of spread apart for the handbag zipper, and I'm sure they'd be in perfect position for smaller zippers. Kathy says, no, you need to get number 3 heads for dress type zippers and number 4 or number 5. Yeah, you do need to get the size applicable to your zipper. These longer pulls won't fit on a number 3 zipper. That's a good point. Thank you. Lori says, I would like to put a zipper on the inside main panel of the Brookfield bag. How do I determine the best place to put it? So I actually have a video on my YouTube channel for how to add a zipper pocket to any bag. And in case you missed that particular tutorial, I also talk in the video on how to figure out the placement for your zipper pocket. So check that video out. I have exact measurements for 2 different sizes of pockets. So a smaller pocket, which could fit a wallet or a cell phone, and also a larger pocket that would work in a bigger travel bag like the airplane bag. But yeah, check that out on my YouTube channel. Dawn says, are you selling the zippers you demoed tonight? I am not selling these zippers, but I did link to where I purchased them from. I purchased them from 2 different shops. So the rainbow zippers by the yard came from one shop, and the rose gold, and they also had other metallic finishes that came from a separate shop. Candy says, can you describe the interfacing you used in the Kennedy bag? Sure. So the exterior fabric was attached to foam interfacing. The lining fabric was attached to Shapeflex interfacing, and those were the 2 interfacings that I used for this project. If you're using quilting cotton for your accents or the buckle areas, you'll want to use Shapeflex interfacing on that as well. For the areas over here, I used cork fabric, and I didn't use any interfacing for the portions that I used the cork fabric on. Amanda says, will you make a video for the tortoise bag? It's definitely on my list for next year. I'm not sure which month that'll come out, but for sure we'll be coming out with a tortoise bag video next year. Christine says, Sarah, are there 2 different sizes or just the one size? I'm not sure if you meant the Kennedy bag. Yeah, it's just the one size of the Kennedy bag. This is the size. I kind of envisioned it being a bag for a laptop or like folders and notebooks, so that's about the size. It fits those items inside. Tina says, can the Kennedy bag be made without the buckle straps? For sure, and I actually mentioned it at the beginning of the video. If you'd prefer just a messenger bag that's a little bit more simpler looking, you could definitely omit the buckles. There's buckles on the front and on the side. You could omit those if you'd like. You could even omit the accents on the bottom corners and on the flap. If you'd just like it to be a plain flap, that's completely fine, and obviously your construction will be much quicker if you omit the buckles especially. That's probably what took me the longest time to make that particular bag. Kim says, I think that bag would work for a man also. Laptop bag maybe. Yeah, for sure. I tried to choose, I definitely don't often use gender neutral fabrics or like manly fabrics, but I tried the best I could to veer my fabric choice, you know, being blue and navy, to as manly looking as I could while still being me. So that's the best that I could do. And this is Tula Pink Zuma fabric that I used for the Kennedy bag. Linda says, Sarah, is there something you could recommend besides soft and stable that is less bulk but has some structure? So there's several different foam interfacings, but I feel like they're roughly the same thickness depending on brand. If you don't like using foam, which some people do not, Pellon makes a fleece interfacing called Thermolam, which is a little bit thicker than just regular fusible fleece. The only trouble is if you're not using foam, the bag won't quite have the same shape as far as standing up on its own, just because the fusible fleece doesn't have as much structure. So it'll be more of a softer, floppier bag if you prefer not to use the foam interfacing. CJ says, will you have a template for the filigree pouch? I'll add that to the list. We're kind of, for the year at least, finished with new templates, but we're always happy to come out with new ones. We have the templates made by hand from our friend Ed in Arizona, and so he can only make so many in a day, but we'll definitely put the filigree pattern on the list for future template. Hopefully, maybe we can get to those as early as January. Karen says, will you be getting the Pinkerville fabric line? So Tula Pink is coming out with a new fabric line in March called Pinkerville. It's got unicorns on it. I use the Pinkerville fabrics for all of my, or almost all of the Minikin Season 2 videos. So this is one of the Pinkerville fabrics. I do have those on order. So as soon as they start shipping to stores in March, we'll have those, and we'll have those on the website. Denise says, can you put a zipper pocket in the middle of the Kennedy bag? So I'm not sure if you meant on the front in the middle, or if you just meant adjusting the pocket in the lining to be a little bit lower down. You could certainly adjust that zipper pocket in the lining to be lower, or if you wanted to add one to the front of your bag, you could, or if you wanted to omit the buckles on the flap and have a zipper on the flap instead, which would be an interesting design idea. You could definitely do that. Kim says, thank you, Sarah. I just put my first zipper head on zipper tape successfully. Awesome. That was really quick. I have to admit, I put off, and I'm just being completely honest, I put off demonstrating this on the live show for a while just because I was worried about the pressure of live and getting the zipper teeth on there without a fuss, which, as you can see, kind of happened to me at the end of the demonstration. I suppose I shouldn't have been worried about it. We always could have filmed it ahead of time and just showed the recording on the show, but that's just one of the things sometimes I worry about live, like, oh gosh, what if I'm demonstrating something and I can't get it to work, and I'm, you know, the lights are all shooting on me and it's hot in here in the studio, and I just can't get whatever I'm doing to work. So that's always a concern of mine, but my worries were needless. It turned out okay tonight. Carla says, when making the Bellevue pouch, rather than sewing the lined side seams and main fabric side seams separately, would it still work if I sewed the lining and main fabric side seam across as one long seam before turning the bag inside out? It's not registering in my brain right now what you're asking, but feel free to email me. Sometimes, like, you know,
gotta wrap your head around it.
Yeah, I have to, thank you, Danny. Sometimes I have trouble on the spot live wrapping my head around the question. It's not you, it's just me. I get nervous about doing the live show still, even though we've been doing them for, what, a year and a half now. Anyway, feel free to email me anytime. My email is sarah@sewsweetness.com. I always personally respond to every email. I don't have an assistant responding to emails on my behalf, so when you get an email back from me, it is me answering, and I'm always happy to help. Faux leather that you sell, is it backed with fleece? It is not. I super hate, it's a pet peeve of mine when I used to purchase faux leathers or vinyls online. If I get them and, you know, surprise, surprise, they'd be backed with like white fleece fabric. I super hate that because it's really hard to cut vinyl or faux leather raw if it has white fleece on the back. So you might be working with like a bright pink fabric, and then the backing is, you you know, sticks out like a sore thumb, white fleece. So that's a pet peeve of mine. So the faux leather that we sell is not backed with fleece, rest assured. The backing fabrics all sort of are very similar to the color of the main fabric. And I don't know how to describe the backing fabrics. It's not really a faux suede. It's just, and it's not canvas either. I don't know, how would you describe the backing of the faux leathers, Danny? Not fleece. I don't know.
Felt?
Felt? No, I guess.
Either.
I don't know. Not really. Hard to describe.
Nubuck leather almost.
Oh, nubuck leather. Okay, I'm not sure what that is,
Like
but
like a Swedish.
okay.
Feeling.
Yeah, Danny's suggesting perhaps a Swedish, faux Swedish type of. It's very thin on the backing. I guess that's the best way we could describe it. Sorry. Jeanette says, Danny, please ask Sarah, how would I remove the adhesive from Heat and Bond that I started on the wrong side?
Actually, that's Jeanette.
Danny's asking, how did I know it was Jeanette? I just do from past emails or comments on social media. How do I remove the adhesive from Heat and Bond that I started on the wrong side? That's a good question, and I admit I do not know the answer, but if anybody watching knows the answer, let us know in a comment on Facebook or YouTube. Danny catches it, come by, he'll put it on the screen for Jeanette. Janine says, I made the Kennedy bag with Doctor Who fabric, and so now the joke is that it is bigger on the inside. So if you don't watch Doctor Who, the main form of transportation is a telephone box, and the joke is it's always bigger on the inside because on the inside it's sort of like a spaceship, and on the outside basically it's a small telephone box. Charlie says the size of the zipper is how many millimeters wide the teeth are. Number 3 equals 3 millimeters wide teeth. Oh, thanks, Charlie. I actually did not know that. Thanks for posting that on the screen. That's very helpful. So the bigger the teeth, the bigger the number, wider the teeth. Janine says, I made the Kennedy bag for a bloke to use as a messenger bag. Oh, good to hear that. Yeah, please post your photos. If you're using Facebook, please post your photos. Or if you don't use Facebook, you can always send me an email. I love to see different versions of bags, especially more masculine, since I am not often making bags for guys. But Danny doesn't carry a messenger bag. But I did start working on the sling backpack, which I'm super excited about. So the sling backpack is just basically a backpack with one strap. Started working on that last night, and it always makes me really happy to work on a new pattern. So that'll be coming out in January with a video also. Casey says, in the video you'll release tonight, will there be an option for making the buckles functional, like with straps from the bottom closing the flap? So I actually, in the pattern, in the video and in the instructions, these are actually sewn down, so these are not functional. You can't take the buckles off as I've sewn them down. But I do offer an alternate idea if you can't get a hold of buckles or you have a hard time finding the buckles. You can actually use metal rectangles instead, and I talk about that in the video just in case you either can't find the buckles or you would rather just use something in your stash if you already have the metal rectangles. So I do talk about that other option in the Kennedy bag video. Stephanie says, I think she means a divider pocket. Okay. Karen says, I think maybe she meant a zipper divider in the Kennedy bag. Oh, a zipper divider. Okay. Let me see. You could add a zipper divider in the Kennedy bag, kind of like, I'm guessing you kind of mean, I do have one in the Lilium laptop bag. It's a divider in the center of the bag with a zipper, kind of like a zipper pocket. You could add that to the Kennedy bag, but this bag is constructed a little bit differently. It has side panels instead of a gusset that wraps around from one end to the other, which the Lilium laptop bag has. So if you were adding the zipper divider pocket, you'd have to attach it only to the side panels. So that means it wouldn't be attached to the bottom. So the bottom would be kind of loose. So I'm not sure if that would be okay or not, but you would be able to add the zipper divider pocket if you only attached it to the side panels. Yes. All right, Danny's cutting off questions, so I apologize if I did not answer your question live, but I will be answering questions again on Tuesday's show. And reminder, Tuesday we have a special guest on the live show. So let's get over to the giveaway. Where did I leave my giveaway items? Oh, here they are. Since Thanksgiving's coming up, I decided to have 3 giveaway winners this week. So all you have to do to enter the giveaway is answer my question in the comments, either on Facebook or YouTube. This time I'll draw 3 winners, so I'll draw the winners at the end of the day this Saturday and announce them on next Sunday's show. So the 3 prizes are packs that I purchased from Quilty Box. So they come, each prize comes with a booklet with patterns inside, and I have 1 prize with a Tula Pink Zuma blue fabric bundle, and then 2 additional prizes with each of them have the booklet. The 2 additional prizes are charm packs of Tula Pink Zuma, so these are little bits of fabric from the whole fabric line, and a spool of Aurifil thread for sewing with. So 3 prizes this week. All you have to do is answer my question in the comments, and my question is, what is your favorite fruit? So very simple, just let me know in the comments. What's your favorite fruit? Mine's probably raspberries.
Tomato.
Raspberries or blueberries. It's a tie between the 2. So I'm gonna get off the show and post that Kennedy bag video for you right now on Facebook and YouTube. I hope you have a great week. If you're in the US, happy Thanksgiving and happy sewing. Bye everybody.